Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Black power.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Folks, today is Tuesday, July 29th, 2025, coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live from the Black Star Network. It's amazing how Republicans continue to freeze out the elected representative in Tennessee, right there in Nashville, from actions happening in his own district. We'll talk with Tennessee State Rep Justin Jones about how he's been frozen out again at something dealing with the Nashville airport. Senator Cory Booker challenges Democrats to stand up to Donald Trump. Okay, but those are words. We need to actually see some action. Also on today's show, Trump administration continues their total destruction when it comes to the environment. We'll tell you this massive deregulation effort they have planned. And also, it's amazing what happens when you hire Trump folks and you just get your cases dismissed. The Department of Justice has fired an antitrust lawyer who had the audacity to fight on behalf of regular, ordinary people and not billionaires. Oh yeah, I gotta unpack that for you. Plus, tonight's Marketplace, we'll talk to a sister who's created a Black-owned puzzle company and a golfing legend honored at the Original T Golf Classic. We'll tell you all about her. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered. On the Black Star Network, let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the miss, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin.
The absolute arrogance of Republicans in Tennessee continues. For the second time, an event took place at the Nashville airport that sits in the district of Tennessee State Representative Justin Jones, duly elected by the people to represent their interests in the Tennessee State Legislature. Well, just yesterday, there was this big announcement with the governor of Tennessee, as well as Elon Musk company, creating this private passenger pathway to the airport. And Jones was refused entry into this announcement. Justin Canoe, the Tennessee Holler, actually shared this video with us. Watch.
Yeah, let's step back out here for just let everybody come through. I'm pushing a little bit.
This project is in my district. In this airport where we are is my district.
I understand.
So I'm here to get information from my constituents. Casey Sellers, the governor's comms person.
Okay.
And that's who I might call to let know I was coming.
Okay.
What is your name, sir?
Hey, I'm Nathan Butcher.
What is your role?
So I work with Altitude Ventures.
Is this a part of the state of Tennessee?
I understand what you're saying. It is definitely. Can you hold on for just 1 second?
I'm here in my oversight capacity.
I know. I understand.
I was elected to represent the people, 75,000 people who live on Murfreesboro Pike, who live around the airport.
I'm responsible for the list, and I'm just trying to be respectful to my role. That's all. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you.
As a representative of this district, are you saying that I cannot go to this event?
No, I'm not saying it has to do with you being a representative. I'm just saying I just need to check the list and make sure. I'm not being rude. I want you to understand. I know who you are, and I respect you. I've talked to you before. We've met.
I have not met you, sir.
Tell me your last name.
This is a representative who doesn't even live in the district. This is one of the state senators who does not live in this district. So if you allow somebody from Knoxville to come and not a representative of Nashville, who this airport is in my district, and that is...
I hear what you're saying. I understand.
She said she's not on the list.
Just make sure.
No, I've got the list.
And my husband's with me.
I know. Put you a wristband.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, just, excuse me, sir.
I'm a lawmaker just like this lawmaker here.
This is a private event.
Sir, this is my district. And if we
sir,
allow
this is a private event.
This is about a public partnership. Murfreesboro Pike is in my district. This airport's in my district.
Sir, this is a private event. I cannot let you through.
Can we go talk?
You just let somebody
she's
from
on the
Knoxville.
list.
She wasn't on the list.
She is on the list.
Didn't even look like your name was on the list.
That's because I filled in for the lieutenant governor.
Her husband was not on the list.
Yes, he was.
I saw the phone in your. Can you show me on your phone?
If you'll come with me, I'll sit and talk to you.
Why is Cameron Sexton allowed? He doesn't represent this district.
Cameron, do you think they should let Jones in? It's his district.
It's their event.
Isn't this a state project? Isn't that why you're here?
Republican lawmakers are being allowed in. This is about a state partnership. This is within our jurisdiction as lawmakers.
Look, I'm just a little guy trying to do my job.
Who are you?
We're going to go this way if that's okay.
This is about a public partnership.
Gentlemen.
This is how this project's being announced in secrecy and lack of transparency. I mean, this is not how government should work. Is anybody else being kept out or just black lawmakers? I know you're here doing your job.
I already told you you're not on the list. That's all we have to go by is the list.
But who told you I was not on the list?
The people that are up there at the front.
Those are lobbyists. I'm not elected to serve lobbyists. I'm elected to serve the people of House District 52.
Shut it. Shut it? Who are you? Doesn't matter. Who are you? Now we got a new guy saying shut it.
All right.
You guys are being this secretive about it. Oh, you
This
just
is
took
a
your name
private-
tag off?
this
You
is
just
a
took your name
private-
tag off. We're hiding name tags now? You gonna put on a mask next? Do you think this is gonna be a good advertisement for the Hilton? Keeping black representatives out of the ballroom?
That's not us keeping him out.
I saw you snap. And the door closed. That's what you did. I saw you do it. That's why you took your name tag off.
This is a state of Tennessee TDOT event.
Yeah, and I'm a state representative.
It is a state of Tennessee event?
So we just heard that this is a state of Tennessee TDOT
Oh, we did hear that.
TDOT is the Tennessee Department of Transportation. So again, I'm here in my oversight capacity. We just heard that this is
She just said it's a state of Tennessee event. So you're keeping a state representative out of a state of Tennessee event?
This is not a state.
Wait,
This
she just said it was.
But we were just told this is a state of Tennessee event from the airport authority.
She said it. I have it on camera.
So now we have proof, so now we have a basis to enter in our oversight capacity as a lawmaker for this district where this airport is and where this project's going to be constructed.
So this is a private event.
Who are you with?
I'm literally a volunteer
Who are
trying to
you
help.
with?
I'm just helping for the day. Literally.
Who are you helping?
I work for the registration table. That's
You're
it.
not here for fun.
Yes, I am.
I really was just coming to listen. This becomes a bigger issue. If you just let us, like every other lawmaker is allowed to go in there who's Republican, who's white.
That has nothing to do with it. They're
It
on the
does.
list.
Senator Massey was not on the list because she's white and because she's a Republican lawmaker. This is the treatment that you are complicit in, sir. But it's okay. You're doing your job. I'm doing my job. So we can just listen together. And right now the governor is speaking, announcing this project as a public partnership. A lot of my constituents have questions how this underground tunnel will impact them. And so I'm just curious to see if this project will have any way to support working people who are commuting from Antioch to downtown to be our school bus drivers, our cafeteria workers, our hotel workers. That's who our public transit should benefit, not just the wealthy and well-connected, not just tourists. I've never been told as a state lawmaker that I cannot go to a state-announced event where other lawmakers were allowed to attend. Have you ever had to keep lawmakers out before?
I have not.
Okay. I know you're doing your job. Who's hosting it?
The state.
The state? We all heard it. If this is supposed to benefit the everyday people of Tennessee, where are they? Why were they not allowed in? And why were only certain media allowed in? Why were only certain lawmakers allowed in? Because this is not about the public good, this is about the corporate good. Lining the pockets of billionaires like Elon Musk, who is a danger to all of us in our democracy right now.
Folks, joining us right now is Tennessee State Rep Justin Jones. Glad to have you here on the show again. I mean, this is what is first of all, it's par for the course for Republicans in Tennessee. That is a public event. That is an event that's public, paid for by taxpayers. And as you said, the governor's announcing it is a public partnership. Oh, but yeah, the representative from the actual district, yeah, you can't come.
I mean, that's exactly right, Brother Roland. I think, what was most egregious about this is that this is about announcing, giving away public land to a private company owned by Elon Musk. And they are embodying the type of politics that he has perpetuated for the past few months, a politics of apartheid, of separate and unequal. I am the representative of the district, House District 52, which the airport sits in, which this tunnel is going to be run through. And my constituents have questions how this is going to impact their life, if it's affordable, accessible, if this is the best use of public resources. And I couldn't even go see the announcement that the governor was making with other lawmakers who don't even live in Nashville, who live in Knoxville and Crossville. Were allowed to enter, but the representative who represents that district was told, you're not invited into a public announcement of a state partnership with Elon Musk company. That's going to have implications for my constituents. And it just shows that even when we're elected, simply because I'm black, simply because I'm a young black lawmaker, I'm treated like I don't belong, that I cannot represent the voices of 75,000 people who elected me to be their voice and to fight for them and to get answers for them from this rogue, corrupt administration.
So what was crazy to me is, all right, use of public land. Were you aware of this deal in the making prior to yesterday?
There had been whispers, but it's all been kept secret. And you saw that this announcement was made behind a locked door with armed officers. That does not sound like a deal that's going to be in the interest of everyday people. Everything's been secret about it. As I looked at who was in that room, it was lobbyists, it was corporate leaders, not everyday people who they're saying are supposed to benefit from this. This is going to only benefit the wealthy and well-connected and tourists, not the everyday Nashvillians who are our teachers, our cafeteria workers, our bus drivers, people who live in my district. And so we were just told about this. And I was trying to see, how is this going to impact the pollution? Because we know that Elon Musk companies have a horrible history of polluting communities, particularly communities of color. How is this going to impact workers' rights and their safety if we're drilling underground underneath Murfreesboro Pike? How's that going to impact the workers? No answers. And they still have yet to give answers. Instead, they shut me out, threatened to call the police to say that I would be arrested. And again, the airport is in my district. I talked to my other colleagues. No other state lawmaker has been told that they'll be arrested for showing up to an event, a state event, as a state lawmaker who has oversight authority over the executive branch. We have oversight authority, and this was with the governor and his Department of Transportation, and yet they refused to meet with me, refused to give me information. I called them in advance to say I would be attending this. I called the airport to let them know there was no issue, and then I get there and I met with physical things.
And what's crazy here, and for people who don't understand, I've covered politics my entire career. City council, county government, multiple cities, state, federal, and there is traditionally courtesy that when you have an event in a member's district, that they are notified, they are invited. It is abundantly clear that these white conservative Republicans do not give a damn about black representation.
I mean, that's exactly true. And this is not the first time, Roland. Just a week ago, Kristi Noem had an event in my district at the airport about veterans. I support veterans, so I went, but I also had questions about her use of ICE terrorizing my constituents. 196 people were snatched in Nashville at the beginning of May, and we're still trying to locate them for their families, many of them. And I was threatened with being arrested by the Office of Homeland Security Police, even though I was led in by Secret Service, led in by the airport employee for the Airport Authority Board, because they're used to letting lawmakers into events in their district. But Kristi Noem's chief of staff and comms director called the police and said that I would be arrested if I did not leave the airport, which I've attended every other event, ribbon cuttings for the new terminals. I filed bills for the airport and have had a good relationship. But now they're threatening to call the police and put me even on a no-fly list if I did not leave the airport. And it's shameful. And it just shows that we're dealing with a rogue administration, rogue government officials. And it's happening from the top down with the Trump administration. He doesn't believe that we should be treated as equal members, threatening lawmakers with arrest charges. And now it's trickling down to the state lawmakers like our governor, Bill Lee, who's the one who ordered for me to be removed, according to the Airport Authority Board. It was the governor's office who ordered for me to be removed and blocked yesterday from attending that press event.
Yeah, and that's exactly who it sits with. Are there any legal options here that you have?
I mean, I know we're going to, I'm speaking with some legal attorneys. I am involved in a current lawsuit against the Speaker of the House because I'm still treated like an unequal member and not allowed to be on equal number of committees as other members. I was taken off the Education Committee, taken off the Government Oversight Committee. I'm not allowed to speak as other members are on the House floor. And so even after being elected, after I was expelled in April 2023 and re-elected twice, I'm still not able to represent my district. So they don't care about the will of the voters. And I want to say that when they silence me and block me, it's not about me as an individual. It's about the 75,000 people I represent in the most diverse district in the state of Tennessee. That's who they're silencing, and that's whose voices they say are not deserving of representation because they don't see us as worthy members in this vision of democracy. They don't want democracy. They want dictatorship and authoritarianism in the system of white control, because white lawmakers were allowed in yesterday. But yet I come and I'm seen as a threat because I have questions that my constituents sent me there to ask, and that's threatening to those who are corrupt and who want to hide what's happening. But as Grandma said, what's done in the dark will come to the light, and that's what's going to happen with this project as well.
Well, that's also what's more offensive, that you have Republican lawmakers who themselves aren't courteous enough to say, hey, wait a minute, this is a fellow lawmaker. Normally you have collegiality, but they don't give a damn either.
No, I mean, these are the same lawmakers who I sit with in committee, people like Representative Paul Sherrill, and who talks about, can I add an amendment to add hanging by a tree when we're talking about the death penalty? These are people who are leaning into our most wicked and darkest history in the state. We are the birthplace of the KKK, and they want to lean into that history. We just dismantled the Department of DEI at all public universities and colleges, so they don't see us as worthy of being equal members of this government. We are living in a system of apartheid here in Tennessee with a governor who's trying to appeal to the MAGA faction, and we're controlled by extremists who ousted us from government, as you saw in 2023, and who still believe that we don't have a right to sit at the tables with them, which is why they shut off our microphone, which is why they block us from events in our district. They see Nashville, the community I represent, as a playground, and that we are an occupied city. They voted to cut our city council in half, voted to take over the airport authority board, voted to take over the convention board, and they're just seeing us as people to be controlled because we are the financial hub of the state. And so rather than respecting the will of the people who live here, they want to take us over and tell us that we are basically a colony, that whatever the governor says, we have to follow, and our elected representatives don't have a voice at the table. That's what it feels like.
And I need people to understand when you use the word apartheid. This is the same state legislature that said to Memphis, oh, you passed a law dealing with policing, yeah, we're going to override you. So they love talking about local control, get rid of big government, except when they're not the ones in control.
I mean, that's exactly it. And I think the greatest mascot of that is the person they're in partnership with, Elon Musk, who's building a pollution plant with XAI, which is headquartered in Memphis for his AI machine. And now he's trying to build a private tunnel for Teslas in Nashville. He sees our community, our state, as a playground. And the Republicans who I serve with just want to, lick his boots and bow down to him because they're trying to get proximity to this man who, I don't know what is the appeal, but a man who is an apartheid inheritor, and now he's coming here to take over our state. And my colleagues are rolling out the red carpet. They had this secret press conference, are ceding land to him, no oversight. We have no transparency. We don't even know what's going to happen with the pollution when they build this underground tunnel. Where's the pollution going to go? How's it going to disturb the day-to-day lives? You're drilling underground a tunnel that's 10 miles long from the airport to downtown to Broadway, where all the tourists go at the bars. But this is not going to serve the people who are trying to take public transit. And it's just unfortunate because the people really have serious concerns about this project, and we should be able to sit at the table and have our questions answered. But instead, they lock the doors and call the police on representatives. And even if you look at the end of that video, I said, "Have you ever blocked a representative from coming into the officer who was over that agency?" And he said, "No, never has this happened." I mean, I think they understand that this is unprecedented. But when you have Trump doing this to members of Congress, it enables and emboldens those at the state and local level to do the same thing.
Well, here's what's crazy. I'm sitting here looking at a TechCrunch story, and it says the project will be privately funded by the Boring Company, quote, and its private partners, according to the governor's press release, though those partners are not named. The Boring Company and local officials, obviously not including you, will now begin a, quote, public process to evaluate potential routes, engage community stakeholders, and finalize plans for the project's initial 10-mile phase. What the hell? Really?
There's already a vote.
And they're only using Teslas.
Yeah. I mean, there's a vote next week already to start the initial vote on this. I mean, I've never seen something, government usually goes slow, and this is just expedited, cutting all the red tape to rush this through. They say they want to finish this by the fall of 2026. Well, we haven't had an environmental impact report. We don't know what's, down there when they drill through the ground beneath where I was told it's going to be down Murfreesboro Pike, down my district, to downtown. And they say that it's, privately funded, but it's about profiting private companies at the expense of public land. We could invest in real solutions like better rail system. We need a rail system, a bus, but this is about getting these private Teslas to drive people just to hotels downtown and to bars downtown. The people who live in Nashville don't go to Broadway. They don't go to the honky tonks downtown. They're trying to get to work and to school and to their, to their kids' soccer games. That's what we need transit for. But what the real cost is the cost of the pollution to our communities. It's going to be the cost of real solutions to real transit issues. This is about enriching a man who's already the richest man in the world. That's what this project's doing, which is why that whole room was filled with real estate investors, venture capitalists, lobbyists, and corporate leaders. That was the only people I saw entering that room, not everyday people. And the everyday people have been shut out of this process because this is about serving greedy interests and racist interests, which are very intertwined in this country of plantation politics. And that's what we're seeing every day in Tennessee, the coalescence of greed and racism in an unholy matrimony that have taken over our state.
And it certainly, again, as you look at what they announced there, to have some guy who says, oh, I'm volunteering, I'm just here, but he has the right to stop a duly elected state representative.
And he is the managing partner at a venture capital firm here. We found out who he was. We were able to locate them. And all those people you saw who were blocking me were lobbyists, because that's who the Republicans answer to in this state, corporate lobbyists. They're not even serving their own constituents. This project's not going to help the poor white folks in these rural counties. It's not going to help the black and brown folks in my district. It's only going to serve the rich. And this billionaire named Elon Musk, who cares nothing about our state, he sent his deputy to come make this announcement. A lot of the people who are on the board of this company and who serve as staff for the Boring Company were part of Doge. And so it's all connected. So we're dealing with rogue government officials, with these rogue business interests that have formed a coalition and hijacked Tennessee. But I want to let people know across this nation, Roland, that they're starting in Tennessee, but we're just the tip of the spear. This has been the testing ground. And I told people last year that Project 2025 is Tennessee 2024. We are the testing ground. If we don't stop it here, it's going to spread across this nation, and it already is.
Indeed. And so we see it happening. We see no real oversight, and we see Republicans just handing the keys to land, to resources on the local level, state level, and the national level, because it's all about MAGA. And you're right. All these broke white folks in Tennessee, all these folks who need help, no, they keep voting for this crap, and they're getting screwed every time.
I mean, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing folks who are hurting and these tariffs, all these issues of the rural hospitals closing, and yet Republicans want to say their priority is creating a private tunnel for the richest man on earth. This is the governor said this is the most exciting thing he's done in his 8 years of serving. This was the most exciting project he got to announce. Not helping fund our public schools, not addressing the issue of our farmers who are losing their farmland with development, but serving corporate interests. And I hope that the folks of Tennessee, particularly my white brothers and sisters who continue to vote for this, realize who they're fighting for. They use racism as this form of red meat to divide and conquer us, but at the end of the day, they're getting screwed. Their schools are in poverty. They don't have adequate resources. Their hospitals are closing. They make $7.25. That's the minimum wage here. And yet we have land to give away, but we don't have land for affordable housing. We don't have land to invest in moving schools out of floodplains, because we have a lot of floods here in Tennessee. But we have land to give away for a private tunnel that's not going to serve anybody but tourists. I mean, I hope that they see that they're hurting too. But at the end of the day, we're still fighting for them and their children. At the end of the day, we're trying to get answers for them too, because all the Tennesseans in the state deserve better than Governor Bill Lee and the Trump agenda and this Elon Musk agenda that is going to screw over working class and poor people, regardless of your race. We're all going to be impacted, and it's coming for your community next.
Absolutely. Representative Justin Jones, we always appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Folks, going to a break. We'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered right here on the Black Star Network. Don't forget to support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. Your dollars are critically important to us continuing our mission. If you want to contribute via Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. You can also use this QR code for any credit card transactions. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo RM Unfiltered. Zelle Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. We'll be right back.
On the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. Democracy in the United States is under siege. On this list of bad actors, it's easy to point out the Donald Trumps, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, or even the United States Supreme Court as the primary villains. But as David Pepper, author, scholar, and former politician himself says, there's another factor that trumps them all and resides much closer to many of our homes. His book is Laboratories of Autocracy, a wake-up call from behind the lines.
So these state houses get hijacked by the far right, then they gerrymander, they suppress the opposition, and that allows them to legislate in a way that doesn't reflect the people of that state.
David Pepper joins us on the next Black Table, here on the Black Star Network.
This week on The Other Side of Change.
Zohran Mamdani, the New York City mayoral race, and this progressive wave that has sent such a shockwave through all of New York City and really the rest of the country. Jamal Bowman is going to help us understand what this mayoral election means and how we make sure that it translates across the nation.
Can you imagine national Democrats identifying themselves as having flavor or riz or swag? Absolutely not, right? So hopefully the city does what it can in November to help resurrect this dying party and honestly just resurrect our democracy.
Only on The Other Side of Change on the Black Star Network. On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, Black Americans have 1/10 the wealth of their white counterparts. But how did we get here? It's a huge gap. Well, that's why we need to know the history and what we need to do to turn our income into wealth. Financial author and journalist Rodney Brooks joins us to tell us exactly what we need to do to achieve financial success.
You can't talk about why we are, as Black people, where we are, unless you talk about how we got here.
Bridging the Gap and Getting Wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.
Hey, it's John Murray, the executive producer of the new Sherri Shepherd Talk Show. And you're watching Roland Martin, Unfiltered.
All right, folks, welcome back. Let's introduce my panel right now. Randy Bryant, DEI disruptor, also, of course, speaker. She joins us right now. She's also author of the book as well. So show the book. There we go. Never Says. Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for environmental justice at the EPA, joining us out of D.C. Joe Richardson, civil rights attorney out of L.A., will be joining us shortly. Start with you, Mustafa. Moments ago, we were just talking with Representative Justin Jones. And here he is laying out, again, how he is being frozen out, how Republicans in that state are using their power to shut him down. And because what they cannot stand is they cannot stand this black man having the audacity to challenge them on a variety of issues and to lock him out of announcements dealing with the airport, which he is the duly elected representative in his district, is shameful. But people need to understand this is how Republicans operate when they have power.
Yeah, you know, and it also is an erosion of democracy. So he has a responsibility to those who elected him. There's a platform that he ran on, and making sure that those communities are going to be protected, both from the environmental side and make sure if there are economic opportunities that they are benefiting those communities and something that those communities are asking for. So this is, you know, once again, about folks taking power away, utilizing that power for their own benefit and continuing to keep the community there in dire straits. So once again, allow him to do his job, because evidently you all are not interested in doing yours properly, because you continue to erode and erase democracy in the hands of black folks.
Well, absolutely. And Randy, they don't care, and they will do it with impunity over and over and over again. And this is why they must be challenged. They can't stand, you know, Justin Canoe, who's with Tennessee Holler. They hate him. They hate his guts because he's always there on the scene documenting these things. So, for instance, when Representative Jones was trying to attend this event with Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, you know, Ice Barbie, listen, he was denied there as well. He talked about, we're going to show you some of that. But again, this is a perfect example. He was escorted in by Secret Service. Turn this up.
I just want to understand why we're being racially profiled, because we were allowed to come in and this gentleman says you're not welcome here. The Tennessee Highway Patrol and Department of Homeland Security of our state, he said ask the federal government. This is the only opportunity we have to question the federal government. Again, she's in our district, in our home. This district overwhelmingly is diverse and multiracial. Every other event we've had here in the airport, we've been allowed as representatives. This is the first time I'm being told as a House representative that I'm not allowed to attend an event from the administration. We were here with Secretary Buttigieg. We were here for every event they've had at the airport. This is the first time that we're told we're not welcome here. In fact, you saw they let us in, but somebody from Secretary Noem's staff came over and said we don't want him here specifically. I'm here simply to support veterans and also because I want to get answers from my constituents who've been harassed and who've been brutalized by ICE here in Nashville. I just want to know from the Secretary, where are the people of my district? I represent the 52nd House District, which this airport sits in. It's the most diverse district in the state of Tennessee. Many of my constituents were impacted by the ICE raids. I simply wanted to just hear this Secretary support veterans and also get questions as to what happened to my constituents who were taken by ICE in the beginning of May. 196 ICE arrests, the majority of whom never committed a crime in the city of Nashville, never been charged with a crime, yet were taken, and many of them we don't know what happened to them. So I'm going to leave willingly because this is not on the police or the airport staff. This is on Secretary Noem, who refuses to answer questions, who's scared to talk to lawmakers, and who's hiding behind secrecy because she knows what she's doing is on the wrong side of history.
Now you heard it, Randy. We don't want him here.
Right. First, let me just applaud Representative Justin Jones because he has had to fight since he has been in office. And he was elected to represent his constituents, and they don't want him to do that. They don't want to hear their voices. They don't care about his constituents. Specifically, I think because he lives in a very diverse area. And so again, our voices are being silenced, all in the name of greed. They want this deal to go through for Elon Musk and for all of these private companies and to line their pockets. And it is shameful.
It's a whole lot of lining of pockets taking place in this country, and we're going to go to break. We're going to come back and talk about that, where the Trump people, the Department of Justice, they fired one of their antitrust lawyers because he dared challenge them on a case regarding a technology company that went out and hired a bunch of Trump allies. It's amazing how that just keeps happening. Oh, I'm sorry, but what happened to all those working class people who said he was fighting for us? You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
This week on the other side of change.
Zohran Mamdani, the New York City mayoral race, and this progressive wave that has sent such a shockwave through all of New York City and really the rest of the country. Jamal Bowman is going to help us understand what this mayoral election means and how we make sure that it translates across the nation.
Can you imagine national Democrats like identifying themselves as having flavor or riz or swag? Like, absolutely not, right? So hopefully the city does what it can in November to help resurrect this dying party and honestly just resurrect our democracy.
Only on the other side of change on the Black Star Network.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. Democracy in the United States is under siege. On this list of bad actors, it's easy to point out the Donald Trumps, the Marjorie Taylor Greenes, or even the United States Supreme Court as the primary villains. But as David Pepper, author, scholar, and former politician himself says, there's another factor that trumps them all and resides much closer to many of our homes. His book is Laboratories of Autocracy, a wake-up call from behind the lines.
So these state houses get hijacked by the far right, then they gerrymander, they suppress the opposition, and that allows them to legislate in a way that doesn't reflect the people of that state.
David Pepper joins us on the next Black Table, here on the Black Star Network.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.
He's Sherri Shepherd, and you know what you're watching, Roland Martin, Unfiltered.
Well, folks, when you start looking at what's happening in this country, especially when it comes to the poll numbers showing how abysmal Americans feel about Democrats, including African Americans. We had Adrian Shropshire on with Black Pac. They want to see people fight. They want to see fighters. They want to see them standing up. And Senator Cory Booker took to the floor of the United States Senate today, speaking about this very issue. Watch this.
This is what frustrates me. I've passed numerous pieces of legislation for our police officers. I partnered with Chuck Grassley, the incredible senator from Iowa, on a bill very similar to the one I support about police officers who fall in the line of duty. In this case, it was COVID. Police officers who got COVID and died had difficulty proving it was a line of duty death. We passed the legislation to make sure those families get the benefits. I've worked in bipartisan ways and within my own party to make sure we get resources to our police officers. I don't need lectures about the urgency of this. One of my childhood best friends, a police officer in a small town in New Jersey, after a hard day's work, before he even went home to see his family, died by suicide. I don't need somebody implying in any way that this is not vital to me and my state, that we have resources for our police officers. That's why I support this package. That's why I'm a co-sponsor of some of the bills in this package. But what I am tired of is when the President of the United States of America violates the Constitution, trashes our norms and traditions. And what does the Democratic Party do? Comply? Allow him? Beg for scraps? No, I demand justice. Somebody's implying that this to me is not about resources for my state. I will fight for Jersey every day, every night. And when it comes to the police officers of my state, anybody who implies that something is going on other than my allegiance and fealty to the safety, strength, and protection of my police officers, because they protect me and everybody in this body. This is a call, folks. The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president, not caring about the larger principles, that those free speech rights, that you could take on any client, why are you bending the knee? I see universities that should be bastions of free speech bending at the knee to this president. I see businesses taking late-night talk show hosts off the air because they dare to insult a president. I see people who want mergers suddenly think that they have to pay tribute to this president. And what are the very people here elected to defend the Constitution of the United States saying, oh, well, today, let's look the other way and pass some resources that won't go to Connecticut, that won't go to Illinois, that won't go to New York, that will go to the states he likes. That is complicity with an authoritarian leader who is trashing our Constitution. It's time for Democrats to have a backbone. It's time for us to fight. It's time for us to draw lines. And when it comes to the safety of my state being denied these grants, that's why I'm standing here. Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution, and I'm standing for what's right. And dear God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me, because there's too much on the line right now in America. as people's due process rights and freedom of the speech rights and secret police are running around this country, picking people up off the streets who have a legal right to be here. There's too much going on in this country. When are we going to stand together for principles that I just heard that we're agreed with? When are we going to stand together? If we don't stand as Democrats, we deserve to lose. But if we stand united, if we stand strong, if we stand with other people, if we tell with a chorus of conviction in America what this president is doing is wrong, if we stand up and speak that way, dear God, we will win. Like all of those people that are ancestors who joined hands together and said, we shall overcome. No, not on my watch. I'm protecting Jersey today. I'm protecting our Constitution today. I'm standing today.
Okay. A lot of righteous indignation and anger there. Now remember, this was more than a week ago when the Republicans, you just heard Senator Cory Booker call Senator Chuck Grassley an incredible United States Senator. But I remember this happening just more than a week or so ago.
With all appeals to your integrity, with all appeals to past jurisdiction and past precedent, why are you doing this? This is outrageous.
This is a kangaroo court. That's all we have here,
This
Mr.
is
Chairman.
wrong. To violate your own rules without going by the mandates of the parliamentarian. This is unbelievable. There's a way to do this. If you want to force this through, if you want to ram this through, there's a way to do it in accordance to the rules as spelled out by the parliamentarian. It is simple. It is clear. There's a pathway to achieve what you're trying to achieve. But, sir, this lacks decency. It lacks decorum. It shows that you do not want to simply hear from your colleagues. This is absolutely wrong. And, sir, this is to me one of those moments where we are not showing common respect for each other on both sides. I have sat here when we were in the majority and listened to my colleagues' arguments, listened to their passionate statements, and then we voted. This is not that. This is us simply trying to rush through one of the most controversial nominees we've had.
Now, in that video, you heard Senator Cory Booker talk about, I know your heart, you're a good man, Senator Chuck Grassley. Grassley didn't give a shit. He kept doing it. Now, one of the dumbest United States senators, I think he's probably the dumbest, Tommy Tuberville. Between him and Tennessee's Marsha Blackburn, tight-ass race to be the dumbest, okay? But he tweeted this today. Check this out, y'all. He tweeted, when a new coach is hired, they get to pick their team. It's that simple. 77 million Americans pick President Trump to lead our country, and yet radical Democrats continue to block over 150 of his nominees. Ridiculous. It's time we buckle up and get POTUS's team confirmed. I'm sorry, is this the same Tommy Tuberville who blocked the nominees of President Joe Biden? I'm sorry, is my memory serving me correct? Let's see here. Tuberville blocks Biden nominees. Let's see here. Oh, wow. The Tuberville military blockade is Republicans' mess to solve, Biden says. Yet GOP lawmakers have mostly avoided confronting the senator on his procedural hold. That's right here. Look at this here. Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville is single-handedly blocking more than 270 military promotions over the Pentagon's policy of paying for service members to travel to seek abortions. The months-long hold has already left the Marine Corps without a Senate-confirmed leader for the first time in 100 years. The Army, Navy, and Joint Chiefs will be in a similar position in a matter of weeks if the issue is not resolved. Oh, wow. Same thing. So here's my whole point. I appreciate the impassioned speech from Senator Cory Booker. I appreciate the righteous indignation and the anger, and I appreciate all of that. But here's my question. How is Senator Cory Booker making Republicans pay? How? I get speeches. What I want to know is, how are you making them pay? I get the speech that broke Senator Strom Thurmond's record for the longest floor speech, and when he was done, they went ahead and moved forward anyway. But the point I'm making is this here. You have to make them pay. There has to be a penalty paid for what they're doing. And that's the problem. Now, let me unpack this again. A lot of y'all don't like Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, he ain't tough enough. The reality is, he can't do anything. He can't. House rules are not the same as Senate rules. Democrats can shut it down. Democrats can literally say, ain't nothing moving. Nothing. No nominees. Matter of fact, if I had to pull up, let's see, Dems put hold on Trump nominees. Let's see what comes up in Google. 13 hours ago on the Hill. Democrats turn routine Trump nominees into pitched partisan battles. And it says right here, Democrats are retaliating against President Trump's brought us up, blah, 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 forcing Senator Majority Leader John Thune to burn up the calendar on routine matters. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Some Democrats agreed to move directly to a vote to confirm then Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State only hours after Trump was sworn in to his second term in office. But since then, they have insisted on holding procedural votes to invoke closure on the next 106 nominees who came to the floor. Thune is calling it Democrats' obstruction. Republicans say the Democrats' tactics are a significant departure from how Republicans treated President Biden's nominees during the 4 years Democrats controlled the White House and Senate, when approximately 60% of Biden's nominees were approved by unanimous consent. And it's even a striking contrast compared to Trump's first term. Republicans say when approximately 50% of Trump's nominees were approved by unanimous consent. Thune complains Democrats have not allowed a single civilian Trump nominee to pass by unanimous consent or a voice vote, even when Democrats have ultimately ended up supporting the nomination in significant numbers, calling a historic level of obstruction. So let's start right there. This is what Senator Booker should have said. No Democrat should cast a single vote for any Trump nominee if this is how y'all gonna do business. Senator Cory Booker himself, he's voted for some Trump nominees. See, if you're going to play the shut it down game, shut it down. Shut it down. I'm not sure, though, Mustafa, that they are willing to go that far. And that is the problem.
Well, you said a lot right there, because you got to go toe to toe and blow for blow in what's currently going on up on Capitol Hill. And unfortunately, it just seems like folks don't have the stomach for it. Now, you know, full disclosure, Senator Booker and I have known each other for a long time. We're friends. We've had deep conversations about, when you got to stand up and push back. And this is one of those moments where, they're not playing by any rules. So whatever tools that you have, you got to take advantage of those. And the reason you got to take advantage of those is because many of these nominees who have gotten in, I don't know all the nominees, but I've followed many of them. One, they are unqualified for the positions that they hold. Two, the policies that they're moving forward on are very dangerous policies for overall for our country, but especially for folks of color. And when you really unpack it, for Black folks. So when you sign off on these types of things, when you don't do everything that's in your power, then that sends a message to the folks not only who sent you there, but the folks who are being the most impacted, the most vulnerable, the ones who are being sacrificed. So I have very high expectations for folks who ask for my vote and who I give my vote to. And folks just got to get it together, because in this moment, there are no regular rules that are being played out. There is no cordiality that's currently going on. These folks are literally trying to push through some of the most dangerous pieces of legislation and sets of actions in the history of our country, or at least since I've been following the history of our country.
you literally have to go scorched earth because that's what they're doing.
Yes. I just am so frustrated because it seems as if we don't understand the game that we're in. It's like we're playing by a different set of rules. You know, Booker used the words of decency. He used common respect. They've shown him that they don't have any respect for us. They've shown him that they don't have decency. So why are we trying to play nice in a battle? This is a battle. These people have clearly shown us that they are our enemies, and we're sitting there trying to be appropriate as if we're at tea and we're at a mud fight. So I agree with you 1,000%, Roland, that we need to make it hurt, make it difficult for them. Tell them what you are and are not going to do. Action is what we need right now. Yes, a speech, an impassioned speech is nice. We need to get the message to the American people. But at the end of the day, quite frankly, I don't want to hear you calling people good and decent and kind and giving them this respect when they aren't respecting you, they're not respecting democracy, and they're not respecting the American people whatsoever. It is time to stop playing nice. It's over. Ring the bell. And let's just get be willing to get a little dirty.
I don't understand. Listen, I get this whole my colleague, the honorable. I get all that sort of stuff. I get the language that they use. But Democrats don't play hardball. It has to be clear hardball. This is, and again, I appreciate his speech. I need Senator Cory Booker himself to come out and say, Joe, I'm shutting it all down. Be vocal about it. This is where you hit them every single day. Senator, you gonna lift? No. No. Change this? No. Not doing it. No. So again, I don't want to hear speeches. I want to see action.
I think where you are now is that your situation is different than what you wanted it to be. Ideally, this chamber is cordial, and there are certain things that we do and certain ways that we treat ourselves. Well, what that assumes when he acts the way that he does, where he's hot cold. Sometimes they're adamant and determined and with righteous indignation, and other times, the conservative from Iowa is a great colleague. It assumes that underlying that there's this goodness that overshadows all the unconstitutional law breaking, all of the issues that we're watching, that the Senate is certainly complicit in and oftentimes facilitating, even advancing some of these nominees that are potentially being advanced, that have no business being in the positions that they're being appointed for, starting with some of the people that were in the cabinet, attorney general, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you understand that those days are over for the time being, we can figure out whether or not they'll come back. But there has to be this honesty about the fact that this Senate that Cory Booker longs for is long gone because of their support of the president, their support of unconstitutionality, them being complicit and often working with the president to undermine people's rights, to take things from the least of us, et cetera. If those days are over, you treat them like they're over. Once you understand that, then it becomes easier to say no all the time and lessen until something different happens. But he's got to be honest about the fact that this Senate and this cordiality that he's hoping for the time being is gone.
Yeah, again, all this is cute, but we have to make them pay. And these people, they operate with impunity. They are literally hiring thugs. They are literally hiring whoever's a friend with Trump. They are getting, what we're seeing in every front. We're seeing them screw the American people when it comes to everything. We're seeing them Trump forgiving people when it comes to the issue of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Oh, you old people, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay. Don't worry about it. Settlements, don't worry about it. And again, they're firing lawyers in the government who disagree. The Department of Justice literally fired an antitrust lawyer because he pushed back on letting a company off the hook. Not only that, if we're sitting here talking about what's going on, even when it comes to the environment, it's a perfect example of what's going on and how utterly ridiculous these people are. They are right now changing climate change rules, rolling back the landmark findings that greenhouse gas emissions pose a threat to public health. That's right. And so Trump's, they want to repeal all greenhouse gas emissions and, of course, standards when it comes to light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles that follow the endangerment finding. They don't care. They are all about making money for corporations and rich people, Mustafa, period. You cannot be nice when they are doing this.
And you can't be nice when people are literally getting sick and people are dying, and it's going to continue to expand. You know, when you talk about the endangerment findings and them rolling that back, all you got to do is look today across the country. There's extreme heat that's going on. People are literally dying because of the extreme heat. People are dying because of fossil fuels that are being burned. Harvard had a study a few years ago that said over 350,000 people are dying prematurely because of the burning of fossil fuels, because of all that pollution that folks continue to breathe in. And we know that it is Black folks and brown folks, indigenous folks, and even some lower wealth white communities who are the ones who are continuing to carry these burdens, but they don't care about them. We also know when they rolled this endangerment finding back because of all the various climate crises that are going to happen, it's going to be more difficult to grow food in many locations. So therefore, once again, as they are slashing people's ability to be able to get the nutrition that they need, it's going to be even more difficult. People's electricity bills for their air conditioning are going to go up. So all of these things are tied together, and these people don't care because it is all about profit over people.
Yeah, that's all it is. And the language that Democrats should be using is that very language. I mean, to me, I don't understand, Joe. This ain't that damn hard. It ain't complicated. They should be hitting them every day, and they should be going to Republican districts saying, hey, your rep, all he care about are rich folks.
It kind of connects to the point you were talking about a little bit earlier about Democrats aren't seen as the people that fight. Folks want you to fight for them. And there's plenty to fight for. There's plenty to let people know that you're fighting for. And so this would seem to be the time, if there ever was one, I don't know, when the Republicans is at stake, when democracy is being undermined, when unconstitutional things are being done as a matter of course, and when court orders are being ignored, et cetera, and to tell the story of the Senate's complicity in that. And so I think that we have to make a decision that we're going to fight, we're going to go to the mat, and what comes, because ultimately you're fighting for the republic itself. And I would like to think that enough people understand that it is no longer an overstatement or jumping to a conclusion or getting ahead of ourselves for us to say that. We literally have things happening that undermine the fabric of the republic. So at the end of the day, Donald Trump is seen as a fighter. And we need to be seen as fighters as well. I think we can talk in fourth grade language, but still talk common sense, not undermine people's intelligence and integrity. So there's a path and there's a route that we're not always taking because we're not willing to take the gloves off. And that's probably what needs to change for us. It's definitely what needs to change for us now, because if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it?
Yeah, Randy, it's called kicking ass and taking names and not apologizing for it.
And that's what we need to see. We are desperate to have someone fighting for us, and we need to see that we haven't been forgotten about, because clearly the Republicans are not thinking about us, and we need to see that the Democrats are fighting for us, because we see that everything is crumbling. And so this is more, as we said in the past, like not just speeches, but take the arguments home, show and say, hey, if this is passed, this company is going to make this much. This is going to damage the environment in this ways. This is going to affect your children in this many ways. You want to know why more kids have asthma in your area? This is why. I mean, make it clear to the American people about how all of these decisions will affect them, why it's bad, and call the Republicans on the carpet. Right now, I think people are so overwhelmed, they don't even understand exactly what's happening. So we need to point it out. This contributor to Trump's campaign will make $2 billion from this deal. This, what's happening with the Tesla plant, they're going to make this much. This is how many companies are involved. And this is the impact it is going to have on our city or on our state. This is how it will affect you at your home and your family. And we're not going to stand for it. Make people get up in arms. If we have someone to lead us to the fight and tell us why we're fighting and give us some ammunition, I believe everyone is ready to push back and to resist. But we need to know that we're being led, that somebody cares and somebody is fighting for us. And not just with speeches, but actually bring it home to us.
If you're going to swing, you're going to swing. And that's what you got to do. All right, folks, going to a break. We'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. Democracy in the United States is under siege. On this list of bad actors, it's easy to point out the Donald Trumps, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, or even the United States Supreme Court as the primary villains. But as David Pepper, author, scholar, and former politician himself says, there's another factor that trumps them all and resides much closer to many of our homes. His book is Laboratories of Autocracy, a wake-up call from behind the lines.
So these state houses get hijacked by the far right. Then they gerrymander, they suppress the opposition, and that allows them to legislate in a way that doesn't reflect the people of that state.
David Pepper joins us on the next Black Table, here on the Black Star Network.
This week on the other side of change.
Zohran Mamdani, the New York City mayoral race, and this progressive wave that has sent such a shockwave through all of New York City and really the rest of the country. Jamal Bowman is going to help us understand what this mayoral election means and how we make sure that it translates across the nation.
Can you imagine national Democrats like identifying themselves as having flavor or riz or swag? Like, absolutely not, right? So hopefully the city does what it can in November to help resurrect this dying party and honestly just resurrect our democracy.
Only on the other side of change on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, Black Americans have 1/10 the wealth of their white counterparts. But how did we get here? It's a huge gap. Well, that's why we need to know the history and what we need to do to turn our income into wealth. Financial author and journalist Rodney Brooks joins us to tell us exactly what we need to do to achieve financial success.
You can't talk about why we are, as Black people, where we are, unless you talk about how we got here.
Bridging the gap and getting wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
Me, Sherri, and Sammy Roman.
I'm Dr. Robin B., pharmacist and fitness coach, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
All right, folks, we all know Donald Trump is an idiot. Now this fool, first of all, let's be real clear. This tweet he posted is all about one thing. It is the misdirection because the Epstein stuff, they are on his ass. And every time he talks, he creates a new deal. So check this out. This fool sends out this post that he now wants to see Vice President Kamala Harris, Beyonce, Oprah, and others indicted He is talking about saying they were being paid to endorse her campaign, and is back and forth because they've been thrown out these lies in their lies that Beyonce was paid $11 million to endorse Vice President Kamala Harris at that rally in Houston, and it's just all nonsense. And at the end of the day, he's a liar. We know he's a liar. We know he's full of it. We know all this fool does is come out here and just say dumb shit, makes it up, no proof whatsoever. But the reality is this Epstein stuff is kicking his ass, and he wants folks to jump and take the bite at every opportunity. That's what this is all about. And so game recognized game. We see what's going on, and there's nothing else. He wants to distract from Epstein, Randy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is just a total method. He's sitting up late at night, stressed out, worried, and just tweeting his little butt off, trying to get people to look anywhere but at him because he knows he's guilty. Right. But, this is what he does all the time. This reminds me of the Central Park Five, when he was, after to lock up Black and Latino brothers, took out a full page ad in the New York Times trying to, just had a witch hunt against these brothers. You also must remember about the whole birtherism theory with Obama. He will start and say anything, particularly when it attacks Black people, successful Black people, particularly he seems to be intimidated by. And, his followers, his fan base, his cult believes anything he says. So it doesn't even have to have any validity to it. So this is just another thing in his playbook. This is what he does. All he does is try to find other enemies, try to distract people with other people who may have done something wrong when he is the real criminal. He is the real, we know he's in those Epstein files. There's no question about that.
And the bottom line is, if I'm House Democrats, I'll bring up Epstein every day. Every day, Joe. Every single day. Drive his ass crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this has got to be a theme for them on the daily. The thing that's different about this, it's been analyzed quite a bit, and it makes sense. Usually when the president is trying to distract and divert and make you go towards something else, the MAGA folks want to be diverted towards that issue or away from that issue that he's trying to turn the page on. The problem is, this is his issue. This is a MAGA issue. This is something that he pumped MAGA up on. This is something he told MAGA about. This is something that his folks talked about. Yeah, there is a list. It's on the desk, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now this is an issue that he owns, and he wants to detract them or distract them from an issue that he got them to be concerned about in the first place. That's the problem.
Joe, it's so crazy, Mustafa. This is Senator Chuck Grassley. Thumb drives containing unreviewed info on Clinton email scandal and mishandling of highly classified info have been sitting at an FBI offshoot office since 2018. I sent a letter with House Intel Chair Crawford asking Director Patel to review material and report back ASAP. Really? Y'all really trying to go back to Hillary's emails? Mustafa, they so desperate. They so desperate. And he talking about since 2018. Who's in the Oval Office in 2018?
Right. That part. Right.
Are you
there.
trying to tell me that Trump's people? Go ahead, bro.
I mean, they scared. I didn't say they scared. I said they scared, because that's exactly what's going on. The Epstein is like this ball and chain around President Trump's, around his leg, and he can't shake it, and nor should he be able to shake it. Because when you're talking about sex trafficking, when you are talking about pedophilia, when you are talking about the violation of girls and women, everybody should be concerned about that. Everybody should want to know exactly what happened. Everybody should want to make sure that there is accountability for those individuals who are a part of those types of dastardly acts. So he should be scared. And yes, it is an albatross around his neck, and it is not going away because his folks want to know what's going on along with everybody else across the country. So you can continue to try and put out misinformation and disinformation. You can try and make sure that people don't follow the facts to exactly what happened, but it's not, it's not going to be a reality. And yes, every day, folks should be raising it. Every media outlet should be talking about it. Every politician should be raising it if you care about women and girls who have been assaulted, who have had to go through pedophilia, who have had to go through sex trafficking. You have a responsibility to do what's right.
Well, check this out. Y'all gonna love this one. They're gonna love this one here. This was asked: would you get behind Elon's America Party if their day one move was dropping the Epstein files? This is Stephanie Suchek. Trump has gone after child trafficking hard. Epstein is only one of hundreds of issues that need to be dealt with. I don't know what is going on here, but I trust Trump and don't believe he would work to protect child predators. And then they posted this photo right here. Here's a photo that she had with Trump. I didn't realize I'll be getting an official photo not taken with my phone. This one is better because we're actually looking at the camera. Still in disbelief a little, how did this happen? Y'all want to pull that story up about her husband? Y'all want to pull that story up? Stephanie? This is her husband, Scott Suchek. Scott Suchek was just charged with having more than 300 images of child porn. So, Stephanie, are you saying that Trump should be going after people like your husband? Oh, by the way, Suchek is a Wisconsin Republican Party chair. Yeah, he was arrested for allegedly possessing more than 300 images of child porn. According to the criminal complaint, investigators acted on a tip indicating that Suchek was downloading pictures and videos containing child sexual abuse material. The report mentioned that the content included very young children, preteens, adults, as well as images of bestiality. The complaint also revealed that Suchek was interviewed in 2009 for allegedly uploading child pornography. However, that case was never referred to the district attorney. He was booked into the Door County Jail on July 24th and was released the following day on a $10,000 bond. His next court date is scheduled for late August. I wonder, let's see here. What is little Stephanie tweeting about today? Steph Suchek, let's see. Let's go over here to Twitter and let's see what Steph is talking about. Because maybe she's talking about child predators like her, dude she's married to. Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. She's locked her account. Is that her? She locked her account. Is that what you've done? Steph Suchek? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, her account's just been deleted. I wonder why. I wonder why Steph deleted her account. Yeah. That's what happens, Randy, when your husband's doing child pornography shit and you're talking about child predators and Trump being against them. Well, oh, look at this here. Look at this here. First-time delegate Steph Suchek's fun. This is her RNC nails. Okay, gotcha. So let's see. Yeah, that account's been deleted. Okay. It's amazing how they get real quiet on this stuff, man.
Yeah, if I were her, I would be in deep hiding too. I mean, here she is talking about child pedophilia and in her own home. I mean, in her own home.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes, allegedly. We'll keep it with that. Although 300 images they found, probably if things aren't looking too good for that household, right? Yeah, she doesn't seem to be real good with discerning good character whatsoever. If she told me to go left, I'm certainly going right in any case, because the girl is lost. And yeah, I wouldn't get on any kind of social media whatsoever again. I wouldn't even show up at my own family reunion if it was held in my living room. She should feel real stupid.
And again, I mean, but this is what So we see what's going on. We see how they want to just shift the narrative and shift the story, and you don't let them. I mean, to me, you just, matter of fact, I saw, and I know this is driving them crazy, because the journalist Michael Wolff, the folks at Midas Touch talked with him, and then Wolff actually talked about some photos that Epstein happened to show Wolff. Watch this.
But at any rate, at one point, after Trump had been elected, I was sitting talking to Epstein, and he said, "Wait a minute, I got to show you something." And then he went into his safe, and he came out with photographs. They were Polaroids, I think, and he kind of spread them out like playing cards, and it was Trump. I mean, I think there were a dozen of them, and it was Trump with girls of an uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, where all of the things that he would ultimately be accused of took place. And I remember very vividly 3 of them. There are 2 in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a 3rd in which he has a stain on the front of his pants, and the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing, covering
their mouths.
Yeah, exactly, and pointing. 3 or 4 girls, and those are the ones I specifically remember. And my assumption is that they were in the safe, and I have seen him on other occasions take them out of the safe, and I think it's certainly not unlikely that they were in the safe when the FBI came in after his arrest and took everything from the house, including everything that was in.
I think that's
just nasty.
I think that's why, Joe, he's a little triggered with Epstein's name.
Yeah, photos in the safe is not good news. We all know he's on the list. We all know that he wants to divert from that and distract from that for that very reason. And I got to know in my heart of hearts that there are at least some people that are MAGA folks that understand this. They're not talking about it, but they understand that they got to know it. I don't believe that those folks are so, I don't even want to say it wrong, like slow or delayed. I don't want to be un-PC for people, but they're not that behind and that off, or they don't understand that this doesn't implicate their guys somehow. And so the question becomes, how big will this thing explode? But the Democrats have got to do their part to make sure that it stays on the collective conscience of this country, including the MAGA people that are really concerned, unless and until this information gets released, so that they follow it all the way to its logical conclusion. They need to be able to say they've taken it as far as they need to, including seeking to take it up as a vote the second they get back to Congress. Johnson can't keep them out forever.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I don't care, Mustafa. I don't care. They could be talking about any issue. Democrats should say, Epstein, release the files. Release the files. I'm serious. If I'm on the House side, I can't stop anything. I would attach a Epstein files amendment to every bill that's put up. Every one. Shut it down. Drive them crazy. To me, that's what you do. Let me help. 7 years later, Grassley's still talking about some Hillary Clinton damn emails. Man, hit their ass with it every time.
One of our great writers, Bell Hooks, once said that the heart of justice is truth-telling. It is time for people to tell the truth. Tell the truth about who was involved with this. tell the truth about how many girls and women in our country are the victims of sexual assault. And, you know, make sure that you are telling the truth about what is in the Epstein files and who is in those files. It should not be that difficult for us to do the right thing in relationship to this. This should not be a partisan issue. This is about the question of if your daughter was sexually assaulted in this situation, or your child or your niece or any of the other women in your family who you love, what would you do? What would you demand? What a level of accountability would you want? And that's this moment right here. So it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent. Doesn't matter if you come from a rural community or an urban community. This is about truth telling. And this is about making sure that individuals are not walking around in our country who have done these types of things to girls and women.
Yeah, and then what gets me, you got folks like Chris Cuomo, who just, I mean, all he doing is just, he doing everything trying. He actually posted the left should shut the F up about Epstein. Boy, bye. And then he actually said this dumb, listen, I mean, like, I know you mad you got fired from CNN, but the bullshit that now comes out of his mouth, but then again, this is the same man who openly has embraced Bill O'Reilly and puts that sexual predator on his show, even though he paid millions for sexual harassment at Fox News. So it's no shock that Chris Cuomo would actually say something like this.
And now this administration is kind of looking like more of what you oppose, that they're covering for the powerful. Now, by the way, I don't believe that that's what this administration is doing. Certainly not to cover for Trump. Those pictures online of him with Epstein and the young girl and the hand, it's fake. I can't show you the picture, and I shouldn't show it to you because it's just going to keep the fakery going. He knew Epstein. He liked Epstein. He partied with Epstein. But he also knew that he was a creep, and he took some private action against him. And I've never seen proof that ties Trump to any of the ugly, disgusting, illegal, and lascivious behavior that Epstein loved. So I actually find Trump's position on Epstein to be pretty reasonable for him. Hey, everybody. And now this administration.
What the hell is he talking about? Anybody? What the hell is he talking about?
Cuomo for mayor.
What in the hell is Chris Cuomo talking about? That boy done bumped his head. Lord have mercy. Let me go to a break. All right, y'all. We come back. We're going to talk about a sister being honored for a groundbreaking history maker when it comes to women's golf. And so we'll show you how she was honored by the Original T Golf Classic. That's next. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, Black Americans have 1/10 the wealth of their white counterparts. But how did we get here? It's a huge gap. Well, that's why we need to know the history and what we need to do to turn our income into wealth. Financial author and journalist Rodney Brooks joins us to tell us exactly what we need to do to achieve financial success.
You can't talk about why we are, as Black people, where we are, unless you talk about how we got here.
Bridging the Gap and Getting Wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
This week on The Other Side of Change.
Zohran Mamdani, the New York City mayoral race, and this progressive wave that has sent such a shockwave through all of New York City and really the rest of the country. Jamal Bowman is going to help us understand what this mayoral election means and how we make sure that it translates across the nation.
Can you imagine national Democrats like identifying themselves as having flavor or riz or swag? Like, absolutely not, right? So hopefully the city does what it can in November to help resurrect this dying party and honestly just resurrect our democracy.
Only on The Other Side of Change on the Black Star Network.
Farquhar, executive producer of Proud Family.
Bruce Smith, creator and executive producer of The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. And you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, on Sunday, I was in New Jersey participating in the original T Golf Classic, my homeboy Wendell Haskins. He launched that some 26 years ago. It's named after Dr. George Grant, who actually, African-American, who invented the golf tee. This is actually what the original golf tee looked like. And in fact, Wendell, in terms of, so we had competition, it was like 2-on-2. And so my team, yeah, we won that one against our competitors there. So this is the trophy they handed out. So it's actually, again, a replica of the actual original tee that was actually invented by an African-American, Dr. George Grant, who was a millionaire, a brilliant man. So it's named after him. Well, every year he honors someone who is a lover of the game of golf. In the past, they've honored Uncle Luke Campbell, Smokey Robinson, Anthony Anderson, Alonzo Mourning, Beverly Johnson, Lee Elder, Charlie Sifford was the first. And this year it was Larie Pearl Sugg. She, of course, she was the third African-American woman to play on the LPGA Tour. And when she went to UCLA, she was the only black female playing on a golf team in America in Division 1A. And she actually sank the critical putt that won UCLA the national championship in golf. And again, she was the number 3 to ever play on the LPGA Tour. Renee Powell, of course, was first. Renee Powell was second. Althea Gibson was actually first. And this is the video that was put together to honor Larie Pearl Sugg. So check this out.
3, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
The original T-Golf Classic is honored to proudly announce Larie Pearl Sugg as the 2025 recipient of the OTGC True Original Award. Larie's remarkable journey has left an indelible mark on the history of the game. As the third African-American woman to compete on the LPGA Tour, her trailblazing spirit follows in the footsteps of icons like Althea Gibson and Renee Powell. Throughout her illustrious career, Larie has exemplified excellence, perseverance, and integrity, values that resonate deeply within our community. Hailing from Virginia and a standout golfer playing for UCLA, Larie currently serves as the Deputy Athletic Director at the University of Richmond. Larie continues to inspire both on and off the course. Her recent achievement of earning a Master of Liberal Arts degree reflects her unwavering dedication to lifelong learning and personal growth. Please join us in celebrating Larie Pearl Sugg, a true original in every sense, as we honor her exceptional contributions and enduring legacy.
3, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number.
Larie Pearl Sugg, congratulations on being a true original T member now. It was a hell of an experience for me, and it's a tremendous honor, and I just want to welcome you to the Club of Legends. It's your brother, your VA brother here, 2 up, 2 down, VA here, Alonzo Mourning.
I'm Beverly Johnson. I want to congratulate Larie for being honored by the original T Golf Classic. As a past recipient, this is a great honor. And Wendell is an awesome host. Congratulations again.
Hey, Larie, Sam Puryear here. It's pretty exciting. You're about to get this big award. You're a truly original T. I mean, I definitely know your story, and it's pretty exciting because you're a year ahead of me, and I still remember you making that putt to win that national championship. And for me, that's a big deal because not many of us that look like you and I that have won on either side. So I'm super excited. You've been a great example, great role model of so many, and you transitioned from athletics, from playing straight into administration. You've been a remarkable administrator. I've even called on you for advice over the years. And there's so many of our young ladies that definitely should be looking at you as an unbelievable role model because you've meant so much to so many. Congratulations on your special evening, and I truly hope you continue to be a blessing to so many.
Teammate,
I saw it over 40 years ago. The determination, the hard work to fulfill your dream of making it to the LPGA. I remember before our matches, you would wear those Sony Walkman headphones, zoning out, getting ready to lead us to victory, and being the only female out there. Salute to you, our hometown hero, Larie Pearl Sugg.
Nikia Davis here to congratulate my dear friend, Larie Sugg, on being named a true original. What an honor, Larie. I congratulate you. Can't think of anyone more deserving of such an honor.
Hello and congratulations, Larie Pearl Sugg. True Original Award honoree this year. You guys are hanging out at Crystal Springs Resort. Beautiful place. And the Original T Golf Classic is being held once again. I was there in the past, and I just feel like it was a great, great personal experience, meeting different people from all over the country who love the game of golf. Larie, I salute you for what you've been able to accomplish in the game of golf, and how you've been a model for many who have followed you, male and female. And it's not about the gender, it's just about the game. So have fun this weekend, enjoy yourselves, and I'm Julius Dr. J. Irving. So nothing more needs to be said. Love you, and Wendell, look forward to seeing you sooner than later. Goodbye. Miss Larie Pearl Suggs. This is Aaron Brooks. Hey, I just want to congratulate you for being selected and being honored. Your legacy lives on, and it will continue to live on. Because one, you're from the state of Virginia, and then two, you're a rock star. We appreciate you, we love you, and can't wait to see you at the event.
Larie, this is the original Spider-Man, Johnny Newman. I want to congratulate you on this great honor. You've done so much for women's golf and golf in general. Well deserved. I also want to thank you for all you do at the University of Richmond Athletic Department to try to put them back on the map the way I left it there. You've done so much, and please continue to do all you can so we can get back on top. Again, congratulations.
Hey, Larie, I just want to say a big congratulations on receiving the 2025 True Original Award at the OTG Classic. You've done so much for the game, from being the third Black woman to earn LPGA Tour status to continuing to lead and open doors for others. It really, really means something special, especially for players like myself. And you've paved the way for so many of us. And I'm really, truly grateful for everything you've done. And this award is so well deserved. So I'm celebrating you all the way.
Larie Sugg, it's Anthony Anderson all the way from Greece. And it is with great privilege and honor as a fellow recipient to welcome you and congratulate you on receiving the 2025 OTGC True Original Award. Throughout your illustrious career, you have exemplified integrity, leadership, courage, and perseverance. Congratulations, and welcome to the family.
Hello, Larie. Congratulations on being the 2025 recipient of the True Original Award. And welcome to the Original T family. I am just so proud of you. I remember the first time I met you when you were, 10, 11, or 12 years old. Your grandfather introduced us, and you were a participant, helped me with the clinic that I did in Petersburg, Virginia. And then I followed you throughout your life, being such a great player at the UCLA and actually having the winning putt. And now you followed your grandfather as an educator, and I'm just so very proud of you to be the third African American to play on the LPGA Tour a few years after I did, actually. So I know you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great couple of days. Wendell is an incredible host. And again, I just want to say congratulations to you. I'm so very, very proud of you. Have a great, great couple of days.
3, that's a magic number. Yes, it is. It's the magic number. Somewhere in this...
Wait. We gotta get a special shout out from New York's number 3, John Starks.
Hey, Larie, this is John Starks. I just want to say congratulations on being this year's honoree at the Original T Golf Tournament. I wore number 3, and I know that you was the 3rd black woman to play on the LPGA Tour. I just want to thank you for being a true pioneer. Congratulations once again.
Okay. This would not be complete if we didn't have a shout out from Virginia's original number 3, Allen Iverson.
Congrats, Larie, on being this year's recipient of the OTGC True Original Award. Continue your hard work, being great, and adding to your beautiful legacy. God bless you and yours from one of Virginia's finest to another.
All right, folks, and then, of course, Wendell presented her with her trophy, this huge trophy. So check this here out.
You all know that the Original T Award is actually a replica of George F. Grant's patent of the golf tee. A giant-sized replica of George Grant's invention that represents the history of African Americans in golf dating back to 1899. Larie, please accept this with pride and honor. It's pretty delicate, but I want you to hold it. But it sits on a kind of a thing. So I'll grab it. Okay. And you can say a few words. I'll hold it too. And we'll take a couple of pictures.
Well, I thought Wendell was a nice person, so I don't think so anymore after that video, because I don't know how I can get myself together to talk after that amazing video and all those surprises that are in there. Thank you so much to everyone in the room. Thank you to Wendell. I mean, he told me, Larie, I want you to come up to this golf tournament so I can give you your flowers, because people need to be recognized and to have their flowers while they still can smell them and appreciate them. And you zip through life and you have to stop and smell the roses and look around sometimes. But I'm really standing on the shoulders of so many people that have come before me. Certainly, it's so special that I knew about my grandfather made sure I knew the history of golf, so I knew about Dr. Grant, and so this is just so special. And to be surrounded by the young people that are in the room here today, I have my son, I have my cousin here, I have my from here in New Jersey, so thank you so much for coming. And but to see the young up-and-coming LPGA players that are here in the room, to see the youth clinic. I know Gavin killed it today with that youth clinic. He's amazing in the work he's doing in golf. And that's so much about passing it forward. And so for the young people in the room, I really thank you for being here, but I also want to give you a message about how you got to hold the door open for the next person to come along. So when I put on the third, I was number 3, and I wore that proudly. In 2000, it was the 50th year of the anniversary of the LPGA Tour. And the LPGA Tour, for those who don't know, is the longest running professional women's organization. Sports organization. It was never part of the PGA. It's always been an independent tour, women-run tour. And so, in 2000, I didn't have a bag sponsor. I didn't have a hat sponsor. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put on my hat and my bag. I'm going to put on my hat and my bag 3 and 50, because I was the 3rd African American in the 50 years of the LPGA tours. And that was really for the next person. And I didn't quite make it long enough till the next person came, but I did all I could to hold the door open. And that's what I want the young people to do. Hold the door open, especially today, in these times. And give each other grace, because you don't know what your mother, what your father, what your uncles, what your bosses and supervisors are doing to have that foot in the door to keep it open right now. It's really hard. Really hard. So young people, be ready to keep the door open for the next person and be able to bust through that door. Anything is possible. I'm from Petersburg, Virginia, and I made it all the way to UCLA. I'm usually really humble, right? I know myself, but now at 55, I'm like, that's cool, right? That was hard. That was cool, right? And so what I'm telling you is that anything is possible. And you have to believe, and I'm fortunate enough to have so many people around me that believed in me. So when I was down, they were there to pick me up. My grandmother, who, Maggie Shelton, I went through a really hard time at UCLA, being I was the only black player in collegiate golf at that time, and I went through a really rough period. Most people know about me making the winter putt and the sudden death playoff for us to win the championship in '91, but they don't know about how hard my junior year was for me, and I almost stopped playing the game of golf. And because I didn't feel like my coach believed in me, didn't believe in my talent. And I'd come all the way from Petersburg to Los Angeles, and I was lost for a minute. And my grandmother, who was riddled with Parkinson's disease, she sent me a scrapbook that she had made. And it wasn't all that neat, because with Parkinson's, you don't have all your dexterity, but she sent me this scrapbook. And she wanted me, it was clippings of my junior golf experiences and tournaments, and she wanted me to remember that I was a champion. And so, having people around you that can remind you of those things when you're down, and that's what Wendell is doing. He's going out there to make sure that you don't know what people are going through. And so that's why you have to give them their flowers. You got to make sure that they know how you feel, that you encourage them, because no matter what's going on the outside, you don't know what's going on the inside. So thank you, Wendell. I've enjoyed my flowers. I've enjoyed this weekend. I've enjoyed meeting everyone. Thanks to all the sponsors and to all the young people. Keep that door open and keep it open for the next person.
All right.
So one of the reasons, obviously I love golf. I've been playing, this is my 38th year playing it. But one of the reasons why I do all I can to make sure I get to this tournament, because it's not like other tournaments. I played in other tournaments where you have various charities where they're raising money for critically important needs, like Warwick Dunn's golf tournament. I've got some video from that we need to actually put together and show you all as well. Where they actually build houses. They partner with Habitat for Humanity. They build the houses, they provide down payment assistance, but also provide them in furniture as well. The reason I think it's important for what Wendell is doing is he's recognizing African Americans in this game. And so you saw me show the inventor of the tee, George F. Grant. Go ahead and pull his photo up. You see his photo. This is from the PGA website. He was a prominent dentist. And first of all, if y'all have never heard of George F. Grant, Dr. George F. Grant, you really should read his story. It is a remarkable story. This man, the work that he did in terms of what he was involved with, it's just an amazing story, and it's one of those stories, and it's always amazing when people sit here and talk about these slave stories or whatever. This is right here for a piece from the Harvard Dental School. I mean, that's where he actually graduated from in 1870. Was a notable individual, the second black graduate of the school, was on the faculty there as well. And the things that he did, mansions that he owned, the things that he actually supported, so many different things, being one of the top dentists in the country. And so this tournament not only keeps his name alive, but it's called the Original Tee Golf Classic, but what it also does is It recognizes African Americans who have been involved in the game. And so, you have these folks who believe that Tiger Woods somehow started this whole thing. No, that wasn't the case. When you start talking about the history, so many people, Randy, Althea Gibson, know her from winning Wimbledon, don't realize she goes to the LPGA Tour. When you talk about on the men's side, Lee Elder, the first African American to play at Augusta National in the Masters, Charlie Sifford, and all Ted Rhodes. I mean, we can go on and on and on. We're talking about black golfers who, if these golfers, and let me be real clear, if black golfers had the opportunity to play on the PGA Tour, the PGA had a Caucasian clause. If they actually had opportunity, we would be talking about a lot of these black golfers to right now how we talk about Tiger Woods. That's the kind of game that they had. And so to recognize what these individuals are doing, these pioneers, is critically important because black folks need to stop passing stuff around and, oh, that's a white man's sport. Black folks have been playing golf since the beginning, but we don't even know our own story, Randy.
We don't know our story, and that's why it was important for you to show that. I actually have a family legacy where I had an uncle, two uncles who would travel to golf courses across the country that did not allow black people to play simply to demand to play and to challenge that. And it just reminds me, and I think it reminds everyone out there, that we have always been fighting for rights in every area. And yes, some we talk about frequently and they stand out, but even the privilege to be able to play a sport, someone had to start. And, thank you for educating me about George Franklin Grant, because I was not aware of him and him inventing the first tee. And so it's good to know our history, because when you know from where you come, you feel just more empowered to do more with where we are now and know that we can move forward. So yeah, we have a legacy. This is not new to us, it's true to us. And we just have to keep, pushing on and knocking down barriers.
Absolutely. And when you talk about also creating new opportunities, we're going to have this brother on the show very soon. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up something here. On the show very soon. He's actually created a golf tour specifically to increase the opportunities for black women. They are going to be in Washington, D.C. In August. It's called the Sapphire. It's a professional golf tour. It's called the Sapphire Golf Tour. And so that is, they're partnering with the United Golf Association. So y'all go to sapphiregolftour.com. Mustafa, one of our fraternity brothers, is actually starting this. And again, what people don't understand is, they have what they call mini tours. So the LPGA Tour is the top for women's golf. Then you have the second tier. I think it used to be called the Epstein Tour. I forgot who the sponsor is, but it's the number. It's basically a step up. So like the PGA Tour is the Corn Ferry Tour. Then they have these mini tours, which is so the Sapphire Tour is going to be one of those mini tours that creates opportunities for black women who are trying to go to the next level, to be able to earn money, earn prize money, and to compete. And these things are happening. Jeff Champ, who is the father of Cameron Champ, he played at Texas A&M, is a brother. He's created what's called the MAC Invitational, which is to create these junior tournaments all around the country to give black and brown kids who ordinarily are locked out of these tournaments an opportunity to be seen. He has all of these HBCU golf programs attending these tournaments, providing scholarships to these folks as well. And one of the things that what Window does is, besides having a golf clinic, they'll have a competition for different players. And so they had there was a Howard student, and I believe it was a Hampton student. It's escaping me right now. But in the past, he's had professional golfers. Now, if y'all want to understand why this stuff matters, and I'm telling some of y'all sitting here like, well, I don't know. Okay, I want y'all to see this picture right here. All right, this is the picture. This is the year that Lee Elder was honored at the Original Tee Golf Classic. Who you see right there is, so that's Windows to his left, that's Window to the left, that's Lee Elder right there. Then you see Beverly Johnson. Okay, we all know Beverly Johnson, historic model, and so we see her. Well, do you see that young girl standing next to Beverly Johnson, between me and Beverly Johnson? Her name is Amari Avery. Amari was 12 years old in that photo. Where's Amari Avery right now? She's on the LPGA tour. She actually played in the U.S. Open. Amari has been playing golf for a very long time. She's been part of the docuseries. So I got a chance to play with, so I was in that group. I got a chance to play with Lee Elder, Amari, Beverly Johnson. And again, this is why the stuff that we do matters, Mustafa. It's so many things that happen in Black America that you never hear about, that never get any coverage nationally. And so our story has to be constantly being told, and that's why Black-owned media, this show, and Black Star Network is so important.
Yeah, and it's about Black excellence at its finest, and us bringing it forward and making sure that everyone knows all the amazing individuals who have been able to overcome, and not just overcome, but to become some of the best at what they do. It's also about economic opportunities. When we look at golf, you know, there's the game itself, but the opportunities to be able to create all the pieces that pull all that together, you know, whether it's the courses or it's the clubs or tours, all of this is an opportunity to continue to build bridges so that, as in that picture that you had, the young sister has the opportunity to continue on, to be supported, and then to just create exponentially huge opportunities for so many young people to move into this space, which will follow them throughout their life. Everybody knows all the business deals that are done on the golf course, along with making sure that we're out just getting the exercise that's necessary. So it's a win-win-win, and that's why this network is so incredibly important, because we tell the stories that no one else will tell. We tell it through our lens, and we make sure that you understand just the amazingness that exists inside of our people.
And I see this. I see Nicole Marks, and she has she has some great comments in our YouTube chat. But Nicole, you have one mistake. Nicole writes, "This is high society Black people," but actually it's not, Nicole. Joe, I've played at in a lot of our cities: Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, D.C., Maryland, others. You have what are the places where Black folks actually, in Black neighborhoods where they play golf. And so I'm always trying to explain to people, it's Black folks left and right who work, who are blue collar, who do customer service jobs, who play golf. You know, and so we make this mistake that it's entertainers and athletes, it's folks in media, it's folks with money, it's rich people. No. Regular and ordinary brothers and sisters are playing golf every single day and been playing for centuries.
Yeah, we've been playing for a long time. I remember there was this public course in LA. Gosh, I think I want to say it was off of Western. I never played it, but would ride by it a million times. There are a lot of public courses out there that Black folks have always played. My dad kept his clubs in the closet. Never saw him use them, but that was a different thing. Years ago, Beverly Johnson actually was in contact with our office. I never met her, but I talked to her about the treatment of a young African-American child on local golf courses. So she's been involved in that issue for a long time. We've got to stop eliminating ourselves psychologically from participating in things that we sometimes, if we didn't invent it, we upgraded it, we participated with a level playing field and the resources, we can do anything.
Absolutely.
And that scares some people. And we got to stop accepting the suggestion that we shouldn't do it just because we don't see a lot of Black folks doing it. So I'm glad for this issue. I'm glad for this award for this sister and all of the backstory. That really helps us.
Absolutely. And I was going through some photos, and Wendell also had sent me this. This was Amari, and I think that's Amari's sister, who also was a great golfer. And this was y'all 10 years ago. The 2015 Original Tee Golf Classic and the inaugural Fresh Classic Youth Competition. And that's when they started that. That was one of the sponsors. But again, they provide opportunities for young golfers as well, young men and women. So y'all, this again, when I think about historically, when I think about black newspapers historically, there were so many things. I remember I was in Chicago at some restaurant, and they had on the bathroom wall, they had like a reproduced copy of a Chicago Defender, and they were covering a cricket match that took place in Jackson Park in Chicago. And so I say this because in our history, there have been so many things that happen in black communities that black newspapers, black radio, now black digital are covering. And so this is why, again, what is it? Nation's first black newspaper. We wish to plead our own cause, too long have others spoken for us. We can tell our own story, but you gotta have us in the business to actually do that. So, Wendell, congratulations on the great year. And Larie Pearl Sugg, congratulations on being the latest honoree for OTC. And look forward to the tournament next year and honoring another black golfing legend. All right, folks, got to go to break. We come back. We're going to share with our latest ShopBlackStarNetwork.com entrepreneur. She's got puzzles. We'll be right back.
On the next Get Wealthy with me, Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, Black Americans have 1/10 the wealth of their white counterparts. But how did we get here? It's a huge gap. Well, that's why we need to know the history and what we need to do to turn our income into wealth. Financial author and journalist Rodney Brooks joins us to tell us exactly what we need to do to achieve financial success.
You can't talk about why we are, as black people, where we are, unless you talk about how we got here.
Bridging the gap and getting wealthy, only on Black Star Network.
This is Essence Atkins.
What's the love king of R&B, Raheem Devon?
It's me, Sherri Shepherd, and you know what you watch.
You're watching Roland Martin, Unfiltered.
Folks, a brother and sister from Texas said, you know what, we love doing puzzles, so how can we actually take this to the next level? Well, Erica and William Jones did that, and it's all about spending quality time, family time. Those of us, of course, have family get-togethers. We love to do that. So they created what are called puzzles of color. Puzzles of color. 1,000 pieces of culture. Joining us right now is Erica Jones from Richardson, Texas. Erica, glad to have you here. And so, all right, so y'all love puzzles, but then what led to this idea?
Absolutely. We grew up doing puzzles since we were really young, like elementary age. And as I got older, I got back into puzzles when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I realized that I was still very, very hard to find Black art and puzzles. So we decided to start our own business.
And so when did y'all start it? How long ago?
We started in 2020. So we actually started during the puzzle boom, and we were cutting the puzzles in my garage. That video you just showed was us cutting puzzles in my garage. We bought a puzzle machine and licensed the art, and we're doing it ourselves. So now we've expanded quite a bit. We're available, in several different retailers on our website, and have over 35 different puzzles available on our website for anywhere from 10 to 1,000 piece puzzles.
Gotcha. And so if you could, how many puzzles do you think y'all have put together over the years?
I mean, well, at this point, now it's definitely hundreds because we had to put so many of our own puzzles together. As you see, I've got some on the wall behind me, and we have to have several of them because when we go to events, we have them on display. So definitely hundreds. Prior to that, we were doing like 2 or 3 a year. And so, maybe 30 or so over the years before starting the business.
All right. So now this is the puzzle itself, but you also have this great artwork here. And matter of fact, that would be an awesome piece of art to hang in my studio. And it says here, down here, respect, equality, hope, wealth, opportunity. And then on the back, it explains, meet the artist, Joseph Watson, known by signature JOEE, grew up in Gardenia, California. And so how did y'all come around and say, hey, let's do this with him?
Yeah, that was actually during Black History Month a couple of years ago. We just did a little thank you card that included his art, and it was sent out just anytime you purchased a puzzle. It was just kind of like to highlight another artist. And then from there, of course, so many people saw it and loved it. Then we were able to work with him and get that turned into a puzzle. So that's a 1,000-piece puzzle. All of our puzzles are made to be framed because they are works of art, so that you can see it behind me. It is a 20 by 27 when it's completed, and that one's called Migration Westbound. So it's all about the migration after the Great Depression of Black people to greater opportunity on the West Side.
Now, were these original pieces done for your puzzles, or did y'all partner with them to turn them into puzzles?
Oh, both, a mixture of both. So like the one you're showing now, the one with the yoga poses, was actually something that we put together. It was a compilation of pieces that we put together to make one. And then a lot of the other ones are pieces that were existing that we licensed. But then this one, Unbothered with the People Dancing, is actually a commission piece that we were like, we want to show like just freedom and happiness and joy. And so that was what the artist came up with. So we have a nice mixture of commissions and original pieces, and then again, like kind of using, inspiration from different places and having the artist kind of put it together to make it, more puzzle friendly.
So you have this one here, and I'm sure AKAs will be buying this one. It was done by Ida Charles, self-taught artist and muralist from Columbia, South Carolina. And so you see what that looks like. So I can guarantee you Randy will be buying that one, I'm sure.
Yes, that artist is actually her mother, or her grandmother is an AK. So that was a homage to her grandmother, and hence the pink and green. And me and my mother are also AKs, so we were definitely, as soon as we saw it, had to get that.
So I take it. So do you have a D9 collection, or is this, what do you have?
In the works. We don't have a collection yet. We started with that one because, of course, of our personal attachment. But
but if you're gonna start with one, you're supposed to start with. You're supposed to start with. Let's just be real clear. We gonna start now. I know you're AKA, but see, we gonna start right here, baby, right here. Right there. Right there. You can't, we changed our lighting, so you really can't necessarily see that. So let me just go ahead and just make this plain. If you're going to start, Erica, we going to start appropriately.
Yes. My dad is a Sigma, so he would have been like...
I don't give a damn your dad is Sigma. He know they ain't first. He know they way back there. They way back there. He know it. I got a Sigma and Omega in the control room. They know they ain't first. But anyway, Randy, go ahead with your question.
Well, hello, Sora. I think this is a fantastic idea, and Roland is right. I will be getting the AKA one.
Generation.
And I'm glad you started there. So is this appropriate for all ages? Because those are some pretty big, a lot of puzzle pieces. So when would you say that a child could participate with the family and, help put puzzles together?
Right now.
Well, I was going to say, if it's with the family, you can start very, very young. I have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. My 2-year-old is actually decent at it. Like she knows at least the colors. I mean, that's the beauty of puzzling is it teaches you spatial awareness and color and shapes and all of those things. So she can at least say, I can say, pick me a yellow piece, and she can find it. She may not be necessarily putting it together fully, especially not a 1,000-piece, but they've definitely, the young ones have helped me with 500-piece puzzles. And the sooner you give them the exposure, the better they are, and the more they're using those muscles.
Fantastic. So because you do the strategy where you put all the, you separate the colors first before you start putting it together? Is that your strategy?
Yeah, you gotta get the edges, then you do it by color.
Yes.
And we also, tell people, like, if it's something that has like a lot of the same color, do it kind of by more like pattern. You may notice, this one has a swirl and this one doesn't, kind of doing it that way as well. There are little tips, and we actually do have our thank you cards have puzzle tips on there, so they give you a little bit of heads up there.
And is there a rating, like which ones are more complicated?
Girl, how many questions you got? We got two other panelists, Randy.
I'm sorry, I got lost. Sorry.
This ain't your podcast. I got two other people waiting to ask a question. Mustafa, go.
Sister, congratulations, sister. We appreciate everything you're doing. My question is, what are the greatest challenge that you've had of starting your business, and what has been the greatest success?
Oh, well, I grew up in the corporate world. I worked for Capital One for years and Hilton. So I was in these big businesses. So having your own business, it is very much you do everything. It's not like a department where media does this and I'm doing it all. So that luckily with the support of my family, I have my parents, my brother, and his wife all very, very active in the company. But it is just a lot of work without like the full support of like a full corporate team. So that has been an adjustment for sure, especially when you've got two little kids.
Joe?
I would ask, this is really great, and I'm going to get this from you. I'm wondering what are some of your next frontiers in terms of other things that you want to puzzle, and I'm picking through the website a little bit, and I'm not seeing sports, and I'm wondering, sports figures, is that intentional at all? I wonder. So I'm asking kind of what window you're coming through on that, because always Black folks, sports and entertainers. Where's my Michael Jackson? Where's my, you know what I mean? So tell us about that.
Well, as we mentioned, I definitely would like to get a D9 collection going. Again, in the works, trying to find the right artists and all of those things. Sports, ironically, we are actually working on our next collection, and we will have a sports puzzle within that collection, because we want to, speak to, especially the boys. We have a lot of female-centered images, so we want to kind of give something for the guys to enjoy as well. So we will have a basketball-centered, potentially basketball. We're still working on that centered piece in the next collection. But yeah, as far as like major figures, we don't typically do puzzles with them, just because licensing and all that stuff. We want to make sure that we're not, violating anything there. But we would absolutely love to. We're in the talks with some estates to be able to potentially do some puzzles featuring historical figures. We do have a Harriet Tubman puzzle, so that's like a historical one there. But we're working on expanding in that area as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Now, you mentioned pieces. This one here is $750. This is $1,000. So what do they number? What's your smallest number of piece puzzle, your largest?
We do have 300-piece puzzle. 300, 500, 750, and 1,000 are the majority of our regular ones. We do also have a couple of kid-friendly puzzles, which are 48 and 100-piece. But those are kind of limited edition, so it's like you got to catch it when you can.
All right, then. Okay, so if people want to reach out to y'all, where do they go?
puzzlesofcolor.com. You can reach us out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of the socials at Puzzles of Color.
And again, folks, if y'all want to get these puzzles, wait a minute, why somebody in the chat talking about, they've been out a while, where can I get them? It's called shopblackstarnetwork.com. That's where you go. So again, if y'all go to shopblackstarnetwork.com, y'all can actually see the puzzles right there. And so you can peruse the different ones there. Y'all, we keep showing the logo. No. I need y'all, when we do this segment, I need y'all to show the actual website. Okay, so here we go. All right, come to my iPad. All right, so if y'all go to shopblackstarnetwork.com, okay, y'all will see right there, okay, Puzzles of Color. You click Puzzles of Color, you're gonna see information about them, and then you'll see all of the different puzzles right here that they have available. So you see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, there are 15 different puzzles that they have available right here. Even y'all getting real spicy right here with this black plum puzzle right here. Okay, y'all trying to be grown and sexy with the puzzles too?
Absolutely. Got something for everybody. Nice little date night, Phil.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay, that is not a puzzle for the kids. I'm just saying. They ain't one for the kids, just letting y'all know. All right, then, y'all. So go to shopblackstarnetwork.com to check out and grab these puzzles for color. Erica, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Appreciate it. Let me also shout out, y'all, we did this other day, Bubba Wallace. Of course, he races under the Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin NASCAR team. Over the weekend, became the first African-American to win a race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They have a number of different races there, F1, NASCAR, other races. No African-American has ever won a race at the Motor Speedway, but Bubba Wallace did, and so we salute him for that. He, of course, is the only African-American driver on the NASCAR circuit, and so Bubba held off some stiff competition to become the first African-American driver to win the Brickyard 400. That is one of the top, basically, like you have the in NASCAR, excuse me, in golf, you have majors. This is considered one of the majors in NASCAR, and this is a photo of Bubba Wallace kissing the Brickyard 400 trophies. So congratulations to the Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin racing team, and certainly to Bubba Wallace as well. All right, folks, that is it for us. Let me thank 85 Questions, Randy Bryant. Yeah, all the questions you kept asking. Let me thank Mustafa as well as Joe. Thanks a bunch for being on today's show. We appreciate it. Folks, listen, this is why it's critically important to support this show, the diversity of stories that we cover, whether it's politics, news, culture, sports, opportunities for African-American business owners to share their products. All of that stuff matters. Your support is critically important when we talk about doing that. So do us a favor and join our Bring the Funk fan club. The goal, of course, is to have 20,000 people contributing on average $50 each a year. We don't charge a subscription fee. We make this content available to everybody everywhere, and so we appreciate your support. And if you want to contribute via Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. This is the QR code. Click the Cash App button to continue. Also, all y'all on YouTube right now, we do hit the like button. Okay, hit the like button, please. Check some money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo RM Unfiltered. Zelle. Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Download the Black Star Network app. Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Be sure to get a copy of my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds, available at bookstores nationwide. You also, of course, can be sure to get our products, our swag. See the shirt that I'm wearing right here? Hit me right here. Don't blame me. I voted for the black woman. You can get this shirt at shopblackstarnetwork.com. Our other shirts, FAFO with Project Crossed Out 2025. MAGA chose between woke or broke. They chose broke. Be sure to get that as well. And there's other products that we have as well, other merchandise. If you go to shopblackstarnetwork.com, you will see right here, right in the middle of the page, it says Shop the Unfiltered Collection. And when you click that, you'll see the T-shirts. You see the mugs we have. You see the other shirts, Stay Woke, Resist 47. You see all of those products. There are other products that we have here. We have changed. So we had a lot of issues with our previous product maker. We stopped using them. We've switched companies. If y'all bought stuff from you have not gotten it, send us an email. Go to RolandSMartin.com, send us an email and let us know so we can help you get your stuff. But again, get the products here, shopblackstarnetwork.com, and don't forget to support Fanbase. Download the app. And, of course, if you want to participate in the crowdfund, go to startengine.com/fanbase. Y'all, that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow right here, Roland Martin Unfiltered, on the Black Start Network, where we keep it real, keep it black, and unfiltered. Holla! Time for Truth Talks.